Coming up, a man barricades himself inside a Punta Gorda home, how the situation ended and why police were called to the house in the first place. Plus, what's next in protecting our schools after the latest meeting between the Sarasota County School Board and the sheriff. And the debate over raising property taxes in the city of Sarasota. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today at noon, an update out of Charlotte County, where a man barricaded himself inside a home for several hours before being taken into custody this morning. ABC 7's Marla Spence was there when the man finally came out of the home and tells us why police say he barricaded himself inside it and the charges he's now facing.
This is the house where a man was taken into custody after barricading himself inside for nearly 7 hours. 29-year-old Jacob Burrell is now booked into the Charlotte County Jail. Deputies say the incident all started around 11 last night when Burrell entered into his aunt and uncle's home in Port Charlotte uninvited. At that home is where he got into a fight with his uncle. Before police could show up, he left and went to his house on the 27,000 block of Sunnybrook Road in Harbor Heights, which is in Punta Gorda.
We actually came down here just to look for him in regards to that investigation, and at that time, through a confrontation with a deputy here at this location, we determined that he was inside his residence.
We're told he approached the deputy with a hammer. Luckily, that deputy was not hurt. Burrell then ran into his house and barricaded himself in. After hours of negotiating with the SWAT team and sheriff deputies, Burrell voluntarily came out of the home. Deputies tell us he did not have any weapons on him and the incident did not pose any threats to the community. Burrell is being charged with burglary, aggravated assault on an officer, and resisting with violence. We spoke to Burrell's wife, who declined to go on camera. She says this is out of the ordinary for her husband, and she says she doesn't know if drugs played a role in his actions. I'm Marla Spence reporting in Charlotte County for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. Right now, a meeting is wrapping up between Sarasota County Sheriff Tom Knight, school board members, and the school superintendent. This days before the current school security contract expires. The two sides finally agreeing on a contract to staff middle and high schools with school resource deputies beginning in August. The sheriff's office will have 10 SRDs in the county's middle and high schools and one at Booker Elementary School. The contract also includes 2 sergeants and a lieutenant to manage the force. The district will absorb 80% of the cost. The sheriff's office will cover the remaining 20%. The contract is expected to cost the Sarasota County School District more than $1 million. We'll bring you the latest on the conversation and what each side had to say coming up at 5 o'clock. For the 15th year now, the Sarasota County School District has earned an A grade. Sarasota County, one of only 20 school districts in Florida to earn that top mark. The district saw improvements in 8 categories and maintained scores in 3 others. Its overall score also improved by 4 points, moving the district up to number 3 in the state. Meanwhile, Manatee County School District receiving a B grade. The new grade improved the district's ranking from 39th in the state to 33rd. Outgoing Superintendent Diana Green says she's proud to leave the district on a high note. The interim superintendent for Manatee County Schools set to be sworn in later today. Cynthia Saunders will lead the district during a search for a permanent replacement for Green. The school board approved Saunders on Tuesday night. She has more than 28 years of experience in education as a teacher, assistant principal, and principal. She's also served as deputy superintendent in Manatee County for the past 3 years. New at noon, Sarasota City Manager Tom Barwin wants to raise taxes, but a majority of commissioners are saying not so fast. Even though property values are up and the city is already getting $6 million more this year, Barwin says that's still not enough. ABC 7's Ray Collins has details of last night's 3-2 vote against the tax increase. Ray?
Scott, commissioners voted against a tax increase last night, but Barwin may still have the votes he needs to get this through. He says the city hasn't raised the tax rate in 5 years, and despite the increased revenue from property values going up, he says they still need more money to run the city. Now, Mayor Liz Albert was among the majority who told Barwin to find more places to cut. But despite that, she sounds ready to vote in favor of an increase if Barwin can't find money to spend to cut.
Before we made the final decision, it didn't hurt to look at it one more time, and then we could decide from there.
So you wouldn't be opposed to raising taxes?
I would not be opposed to what was proposed because I think that was a really modest increase.
If the current tax increase stands, the average homeowner would pay about $18 more a year. The next vote is in 2 weeks on July 9th. Scott?
Ray, thank you so much. Let's get a check now on our weather with meteorologist John Scalzi. And yeah, pretty nice. It seems like another summer day. I was walking in today to work and it's like, yep, big clouds, puffy clouds. It's hot.
Pretty much. I mean, the only differences are subtle differences between one day and another in this flow regime. And today we have a little bit stronger west wind. So I think we'll see a little bit more activity in inland areas. Moisture is a little bit higher. So rain chances maybe another 10–20% higher than they were yesterday. Okay. There wasn't much along the coastline. There were a few showers in inland areas. I think we'll see more activity today. But all in all, we're kind of stuck in this pattern, and we'll see pretty much the same thing again yesterday. There'll be some changes coming up this weekend, and there'll be some changes coming next week, I think. But for the next 2 or 3 days, it's pretty much same old, same old. Casey Key webcam showing, well, some pretty nice conditions out there. It was a little bit cloud covery start and kind of raised our temperatures up just a little bit. That and the slightly higher dew points by a couple of degrees brought us a morning temperature in the upper 70s, low 80s in most places. Fair weather cloudiness out there in the Gulf right now, but there are some showers around, certainly ringing the state, and a few of them kind of moving onshore right now, mostly east of the interstate, but we still have a chance over the next hour or two seeing some coastal showers. Put the rain chance near the coast at 30% or so. And inland, we're starting to see a 40 to 50% chance of showers there. I think as we head into the later part of the afternoon, the sunshine will help bring a few showers back toward the coast. Rain chance today at about 40% with a daytime high of about 92. Scott?
Thank you. New developments out of the nation's capital, where all the talk is about a retirement that could impact every American for generations to come. Justice Anthony Kennedy stepping down from the Supreme Court after 30 years. ABC's Janae Norman is in Washington, where replacing Kennedy is already turning into a fight.
The conservative who's not afraid to side with liberals, once dubbed the decider by Time magazine, Justice Anthony Kennedy's crucial role on the Supreme Court coming to an end after 30 years. His legacy casting the swing vote, effectively deciding monumental cases, writing the key opinion upholding Roe v. Wade, championing the civil rights of gay and lesbian Americans, and on the conservative side, writing the court's opinion in Citizens United, allowing unlimited corporate spending in elections.
Justice Kennedy's retirement makes the issue of Senate control one of the vital issues of our time.
Finding a replacement will be a fight. Republicans want to move quickly to confirm whoever the president nominates, unlike the way they handled President Obama's nominee, Merrick Garland, when Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell prevented the nomination from moving forward.
This is not 2016. There aren't the final months of a second-term constitutionally lame duck presidency with a presidential election fast approaching.
And now Democrats want to do the same.
Why should a midterm election be any less important than a presidential election? Leader McConnell is simply engaging in hypocrisy.
President Trump has a list of 25 potential picks he's using to choose a replacement, and Republicans' one-seat majority is enough to confirm the president's nominee, but they face potential pushback from Democrats and possibly some Republicans. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
We now have the details of a summit between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. The two leaders will meet on July 16th in Helsinki, Finland. The White House announcing President Trump and Putin will discuss relations between the U.S. and Russia, as well as a range of national security issues. Speaking in Moscow yesterday, U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton said the president would likely raise the 2016 election meddling issue during his sit-down with Putin. More on the latest breaking news across the world and here on the Suncoast, as well as your First Alert weather forecast. We invite you to download our app. Find it at your app store. Look for WWSB or My Suncoast. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why a new study suggests most adults are not getting enough exercise. And later, the man seen in a viral video riding on the hood of a car heading down I-95 near Miami is now speaking out.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC 7 News at 4, premiering Monday, July 2nd. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running, and right now, you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Hot and steamy, no doubt about it. 89 degrees, the air temperature. We're on our way to probably a high of around 92, and we'll have a feels like of pretty close to 100 to 105. 75 degree dew point, a little higher than yesterday. West-northwest wind at about 10, and we have a heat index right now at 99 degrees. So it's going to be a very hot afternoon. Now, let me explain what we've got here. I'm putting in a 10% chance of rain showers by 3 p.m. Right now, through about 3 p.m., the rain chance is probably along the coastline at about 30 to 40%. But all of that activity, that focus for showers, is moving inland as we speak. And I think by the time we get to 3 p.m., the rain chances along the coast will be reduced, while inland rain chances will expand. Then I've kind of upped the rain chances a little bit by 7 o'clock. Not much, but a little bit. And that's because I think some of the showers dying out in inland areas may kind of spawn some showers closer to the coastline. So I'll up the rain chance just a little bit for an isolated 1 or 2 showers or 3 near the coastline as we head into sunset time. Then everything kind of dies out and fades away. Right now, we're starting to see some showers building in inland areas. We've still got some coastal showers around, and the general drift of all these showers is toward the east. We have a nice, strong westerly wind pushing all this stuff into inland areas, and I think some of these storms in inland locations are going to become pretty strong. They'll be slow movers, they'll interact with each other, the motion will be kind of erratic, and they'll just sort of fill the inland spaces east of the interstate, producing at times some fairly heavy rainfall. The showers pushed inland by the west coast sea breeze will form in inland areas, build in intensity, some strong storms perhaps over on the east coast, and then some of those showers may just build back toward our coastline as we head into the evening. So, Isolated morning showers, afternoon showers inland, the morning showers, by the way, near the coast, and then better weekend rain chances. That's going to be true for the next several days, those characteristics. Watch the Futurecast put it into motion. The showers get kind of intense in inland areas as we head into the afternoon and evening, and then a few of the showers may spawn outflow that cause a few showers to back build toward the coast. Now, here's something interesting. In the long range, beyond the weekend, we'll have a little area of low pressure that'll kind of dive south, enhancing our weekend rain chances. And then as we head into the 4th of July, some drier air will work its way in. In this image here, redder is wetter, and the blue colors are drier air. So perhaps we'll have a slightly drier 4th of July. For today, west wind coming in at about 10 knots. Forecast calling for today's high to be around 92. Tomorrow, again, about a 40% chance of rain. Up the rain chance slightly for the weekend, and then next week, we'll start to lower the rain chances as we head toward the 4th. Back to you.
John, thanks so much. In HealthSmart, the Supreme Court has sided with faith-based pregnancy centers in a case that pitted abortion rights against free speech. The justices ruled against a California law saying anti-abortion pregnancy centers do not have to inform women about family planning services, including abortion. The law also requires unlicensed clinics, which provide resources like vitamins and diapers but have no actual medical providers on site, to give patients notice that they are not licensed. Religiously affiliated pregnancy centers claim the law forced them to deliver a message that was in direct conflict with their mission. The fight against the opioid epidemic continues here in Florida, but a new measure aimed at stopping addicts that often turn to street drugs will take effect next week. Limits will be placed on prescriptions that doctors write for treatment of acute pain. It will only be a 3-day supply unless deemed medically necessary. The bill also requires physicians to check with a statewide database before prescribing or dispensing controlled substances.
It's one part of it. There's lots of parts to this epidemic, and but this is a critical part in helping get to the bottom of it.
Cancer patients, people who are terminally ill, and those who suffer from major trauma would be exempt from the prescribing limits. This new drug law is one of more than 100 that will take effect on July 1st. Looks like most Americans need to spend a little more time working up a sweat. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services reports each week people need, now these are people between 18 and 64, they need to do at least 2.5 hours of moderate activity or 75 minutes of vigorous physical activity, as well as muscle strengthening activities at least twice a week. But the latest data from the CDC shows less than 25% of people are meeting that goal. The state of Colorado has the best percentage of people exercising regularly at 32.5%. One of the many states that missed the mark, well, right here in Florida. Time now to get over to the kitchen and say hello to our guest today, Mike Yoder from Louie's Modern in Sarasota. Mike, thanks for being in our kitchen today. What's for lunch today?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I'll be preparing crab rangoons with guava barbecues, or sorry, guava sweet and sour.
Sounds delicious, Mike. We'll see you in a little bit.
Thanks.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes, B, console her,
don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
At Boys and Girls Clubs, it's not just about trying new things.
Tanya, come here.
Learning the right steps. 2, 3, 4. Or making contact. It's not just about exploring the future. It's about helping them build it. It's about making the connection. It's about proving every kid and teen who enters our doors has what it takes. Great futures start here.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Caught on camera, video of a man riding on a car's hood on I-95 near Miami has gone viral. You've probably seen it. Reporter Janine Stanwood had the chance to sit down with that man as he talks for the first time about how the ordeal unfolded.
Okay, sir, I'm letting them know, okay? I really need help. I understand.
That's the 911 call from Junior Francis, all while hanging onto the hood of this speeding car.
I actually held on like this, and it was with one hand, and the other hand I'm holding the phone.
He tells us he was fighting with on-again, off-again girlfriend Patricia Isidore at their Lauderhill home. He wanted to use the car. She beat him to it, he says. So he jumped on the hood to stop her.
She turned the engine on, dropped it in reverse, and started driving out. And then that's when things took a turn.
A few turns, and then south on I-95 for 15 miles.
So this woman's gonna kill me. Like, she's really out to kill me.
Riding on the hood like it's no big deal.
Other drivers are stunned shooting this video. Even the 911 operator seems confused that he was actually calling from on top of a moving car.
Yes, I'm on top of a speeding vehicle. Someone's trying to steal my car.
Okay, what's the address?
I don't even know where I'm at.
I was scared. I was terrified.
What exit are you coming up to now?
Dairy's coming up.
After exiting Ives Dairy, Isidore would be arrested. Francis tells us he's just happy to be alive.
Just watch yourself and be careful who you love.
Wow, that was Janine Stanwood reporting. Francis's girlfriend is now facing charges for negligence, and friends say the relationship between the two was simply, quote, an old flame that would not let go. We're glad he didn't let go. All right, back to the kitchen now. John is with our guest today, Mike Yoder from Louis Modern in Sarasota. Guys?
Negligence? Charged with, wow.
That was serious.
Yeah.
That escalated quickly.
I'm going to get a little serious, more serious charge than that. Good to have you in the kitchen, Mike.
Thank you. Good to
Always
be
a
back.
pleasure.
Yes, sir. Oh, got a little dusty.
That's all right.
Whatever.
And we're cooking, oh, these look absolutely great. Cooking up rangoons?
Rangoons, yes.
Rangoons?
With a guava sweet sour, not a barbecue sauce, sorry.
Okay, no problem. Okay, well, show us how it's done. This is basically like a dumpling, is that what you said?
Yeah, it's like a dim sum.
Dim sum.
A little dim sum,
okay.
correct. So we're going to start with equal parts sugar and white vinegar. There's about a cup, another cup. We're going to put this over medium-high heat. Cook it down. Inside of this is going to be some cilantro, and then we have a little bit of ginger.
This is the dipping sauce?
Yeah, this is giving it sweet and sour. So this would cook down for about 10 minutes. You then hit it with a little bit of cornstarch and strain out all the body. Into that goes a little orange juice, say there's about an ounce, and then to finish that off, the guava. All this will steep together.
Wow.
And create something that looks like this.
That sounds wonderful. You say you add cornstarch to it while it's hot, just to thicken it up. Right?
Yeah, you're gonna bring it down to heat, put the cornstarch in, bring it back up. That way it gets to its full thickening capability.
Nice.
And then I've also steeped a couple jalapeno slices in there to create some flavor too.
Can I? May I taste?
You may.
No?
You may.
Wow.
Nice, right?
Yeah, that's very good.
So then we start creating our Rangoon mix, which we're gonna start with some cream cheese. There's 8 ounces. We have 8 ounces of goat cheese. We're gonna put in about ½ a tablespoon of togarashi.
Which is?
Which is a chili spice. It's got red chilies, sesame seeds, sometimes it has nori in it, like a furikake, salt.
I'm guessing you just don't pick that up at the local store, huh?
So any of these can be picked up at, there's 2 Asian markets in town that I go to, frequent a lot. One is off of 12th Street, and then the other is in Gulfgate. And you can get all of these ingredients at Gulfgate.
Okay.
Her name is Sue. She's amazing. You tell her what you need, and she'll find it for you.
All right, awesome.
Salt, pepper, ginger inside of the mix, and then finally, it is about a pound of crab. Now this is king crab. You can use any crab. You could even use crab with a K if you wanted to.
You've got
Some
about
scallion.
a minute left. So
You got it. So this
have you
gets all
added all
mixed
your
up.
ingredients? You
Yep,
mix all that
this
up?
all gets mixed up.
Okay.
This is what it looks like.
While you roll them into the wonton wrappers there, I want to ask you about these pre-party that you have coming up here.
Yeah, so at Louis we have a pre-party for 4th of July. We're serving street tacos, beer specials, other drink specials. It should actually be a really blast. We're closing off front of the restaurant to do this event.
Is this reservation only, or just
no.
walk right up?
You can walk right up.
Awesome.
Walk right up. So
Sounds
we're
like
filling
good
these
times.
filling these wonton shells real quick with a little scoop. Hit it with a little egg wash. Flip it over.
Nice.
Make a little pocket out of it. Fry them for a few minutes.
And fry them up, bring them out, dip them in the sauce, and go to town.
That's it.
That looks absolutely great. The recipe for this is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining button. It'll take you right there with all the video instructions. I can't wait. Chef, thanks so much. Happy 4th of July.
Thank you. Happy 4th.
All right.
Got it.
Boom. We'll be right back.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Like no other. So why should your choices be ordinary? Ghibli, the absolute opposite of ordinary.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like. Then click Following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing Notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, bro. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Coming up, the crisis at the border continues. What could be next for hundreds of migrant children in the U.S. as the First Lady heads back south for a second visit. Plus, an arrest is made in the death of a man found inside a former Florida Gators football player's home. And how Punta Gorda is hoping to speed up security at one of the Suncoast's busiest airports.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30, the crisis at the border. The government now launching a review of the shelters being used to house children as First Lady Melania Trump visits for a second time today. ABC's Zachary Keish is in New York with the story.
What kind of care are the children of undocumented immigrants receiving in these facilities? Today, a government watchdog is expected to begin inspections that should provide more clarity. The inspections come just a day after Health and Human Services defended how it's handling children separated from their parents.
There is no reason why any parent would not know where their child is located.
A federal judge has ruled that the more than 2,000 children separated from their families must be reunited within 30 days. Children under 5 within 14 days.
Do you think the federal government's going to make that deadline?
I think they're going to work really hard at it. We respond to court orders, obviously.
In Arizona, ABC's Tom Llamas got a view from the sky that highlights the challenges Border Patrol agents face on a daily basis. Like this undocumented 6-year-old from Costa Rica, possibly abandoned by smugglers with just a bottle of soda in 100-degree heat, found by Border Patrol. First Lady Melania Trump plans to make a second visit to meet with youngsters being held inside an Arizona shelter today. Vice President Pence also discussing undocumented immigration with Central American leaders today. Frustration around the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy that has led to families being separated at the border has fanned out to other parts of the country. Protests shutting down an ICE office in Portland, Oregon for another day. Now, Republican efforts to pass a moderate bill failed yesterday in the House. Almost just as many Republicans that were for it were against it. I'm Zachary Keish, ABC News, New York.
New at noon, the Democratic National Committee is taking a big step towards limiting the role of superdelegates in the party's nominating process. A new rule is moving forward that would generally bar these superdelegates, who are mostly party leaders and officials, from voting on the first ballot at the Democratic Convention. The move would ensure candidates earn the nomination through delegates won in primaries and caucuses. Bernie Sanders supporters were highly critical of the superdelegate system in 2016, blaming Hillary Clinton's early backing from party officials for tilting the scale in her favor. Meanwhile, Secretary of Defense James Mattis is overseas rallying for U.S. support. He first stopped in South Korea earlier today, where he sat down with the nation's defense minister. Secretary Mattis now heads to Japan, where he's expected to hold a news conference after speaking with members of their defense team as well. Right now in Europe, Iceland's prime minister says his nation will accept all of the migrants sitting stranded in the Mediterranean Sea on what's being called the Lifeline ship. More than 200 migrants, including children and pregnant women, have been off the coast of Italy for several days, hoping to be welcomed by officials there. But Italian leaders say they will not admit any of the migrants. Iceland's announcement comes as a surprise to other European nations who have also turned the ship away. New at noon, a Libyan militia leader sentenced to 22 years in prison for his connection to the 2012 Benghazi attack. Ahmed Abu Khattala was found guilty on 4 charges in November. When he was captured in 2014, then President Obama called him one of the masterminds of the attack, but the jury did not find him guilty of murdering 4 people, including Ambassador Christopher Stevens. The brother of an NFL player is charged with the death of another man found dead inside that player's home. Roosevelt Renee's body was discovered Tuesday in one of Janoris Jenkins' homes. Jenkins plays for the New York Giants and used to play for the Florida Gators before he was kicked off the team in 2011. Jenkins was not home when the body was discovered. Police say his brother, William Jenkins, was arrested in upstate New York for a parole violation, and they later charged him with aggravated manslaughter in connection with Renee's death. A follow-up now out of California, where progress is finally being made on that large Pawnee fire. Crews say the blaze is now about 20% contained, but it's already scorched more than 13,000 acres and destroyed nearly 24 structures. Fortunately, dying winds have recently helped crews get a better handle on the fire. Helicopters have also been dropping water on spots as bulldozers cut containment lines. Some people are still being forced to evacuate, though, and there's no word yet on when they'll be able or be allowed to return to their homes. Glad to hear a little bit of progress being made, but yeah, only 20% at this point.
Yeah, it's rough and bad drought situation. Yeah. And it continues for a lot of the West. We have not had that problem around here recently. We got rising fire danger indexes, but the drought is under control. Rainfall is basically pretty good. We've got more rainfall on the way today. Looks like a few scattered showers around Lakewood Ranch. Pointing our cameras in this direction now shows the clouds that are building, and we even have some rain showers in progress after a little bit of morning heat. You can see those clouds just beautifully rolling in and building, getting more and more loft as the hours move on. And I think as we head into 2, 3, 4 o'clock, we'll start to see pretty numerous showers and thunderstorms build east of the interstate. You can see how moist the atmosphere is even by the number of showers that are occurring in Atlantic and Gulf waters. That was true this morning before sunrise. And right now, a few scattered showers out in the Gulf and more showers east of the interstate. The showers east of the interstate, you may notice, have quite a bit more color to the radar echoes. That is an indication of stronger storms, and there are stronger storms building in inland areas as opposed to the coastal regions. Lots of sunshine today, boosting our daytime high temperature up to about 92 with it feels like of 100 to 105. The complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
All right, John, due to recent rapid growth along the Suncoast, the Punta Gorda Airport is now looking at ways to reduce wait times at security checkpoints. Some of the possibilities include rewarding passengers who arrive early, requesting earlier departures, and asking for an additional security checkpoint to be installed. March was the busiest month in the history of that airport, with more than 94,000 departing passengers, 98,000 arriving passengers. Charlotte County deputies say a traffic stop led them to 2 accused drug dealers. Deputies say Alexandra Mousseau was acting nervous, shaking uncontrollably, and had multiple needle marks on her arm when they stopped her and the driver of the car, James Maroney, earlier this week. A search of their car turned up more than $3,000 in cash, meth, and other drug paraphernalia. The pair are now each facing several charges. Venice residents may soon be able to dispose of their unwanted guns. The city council voting to follow up on an idea where you could call police and your unwanted guns would be picked up, no questions asked. The guns will then either be redirected to the police department or destroyed. Students from Stoneman Douglas High School spent Wednesday in Sarasota as part of the group's March for Our Lives tour. 200 people filled the room at Selby Public Library last night to hear from those students. They also spent part of the day on Siesta Key, urging people to register to vote. The shooting massacre at the school in Parkland on Valentine's Day killed 17 classmates and faculty.
I want them to take away the fact that they have more power than they know. That while it may seem like there's some people who have control over everything and that we're just kind of powerless, we're the disenfranchised citizens of America, that we hold the power. This is our democracy and we have a voice in it.
This March for Our Lives tour is not only statewide but nationwide as well and will continue all summer long. Head over to our website for more information on how to get involved. Again, mysuncoast.com. Looking ahead, the 34th annual Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix is coming up this weekend right off Lido Beach. And to make sure the marine life there is protected, the event will have observers who will be watching the water to make sure no animals are in the racing zones. If they do spot one, the race will be stopped until the race course is clear. Mote Marine Lab is reminding race fans to also be on the lookout during the event.
Simple things like wearing polarized sunglasses so you can see animals better through the water is really a big help. Also, you know, if you see marine debris, stop and pick it up, stow your trash before you take off.
SPD's Marine Patrol will have 5 boats patrolling the water during the event, both with a driver and a diver on board. The Tampa Bay Lightning showing off the team's new and improved practice facility in Brandon. The Bolts putting $6 million into the Ice Sports Forum there. Along with upgrades to the ice rink, the facility has more than tripled in size now and includes hydrotherapy facilities as well as a theater and video room. The team also renewed its contract there for another 20 years, and those involved think the rink will have a positive and lasting impact on the community.
Get out there and skate on the same ice as their heroes get to skate on, it's pretty awesome. Plus the players are approachable here, so it gives them a chance to meet, say hello, watch them practice, see the dedication they have.
The Ice Sports Forum is not just used by the Lightning, though. It's one of the busiest rinks in the nation with more than 100 adult and youth league teams skating there. So the Bolts are definitely not the only ones who will enjoy those improvements. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how Amazon is hoping to help give you a chance to start your own small business.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Patriotic Spectacular July 4th, 4:30 p.m. at First Church, Sarasota. Choral Artists of Sarasota's annual Independence Day celebration features traditional patriotic favorites, plus a choral salute to the 100th anniversary of Leonard Bernstein and a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. narrated by Nate Jacobs. Come for the concert and stay for the fireworks over Sarasota Bay. Tickets at choralartistsarasota.org or by calling 941-387-4900.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we started the morning off just a little bit warmer because of the cloud deck, because of the higher dew point values by a few degrees. And the combination of that has allowed kind of a jump start on the daytime high temperatures, and we're up now to 89 degrees. 99, the feels like temperature, so obviously a very sweltery and hot afternoon. So we're looking at, as I mentioned, west-northwest wind coming in at about 10. That westerly component to the wind is going to be kind of consistent for the next several days. And it's going to help to keep that humidity value high. It's going to help to take the showers and push them inland. Now, you'll see only a 10% chance of showers at 3 p.m. Well, that may be true along the coastline at 3 p.m., but inland, I think the rain chance will be more like 50 or 60% east of the interstate, and especially well east of the interstate into Hardee and DeSoto counties. And for the next hour or two, I think we can even up our rain chances at the coast to probably around 30% or so until it starts to tail down to 10% by 3. Then it may pick up just briefly to around at 7 p.m. as some of the showers that form in inland areas kind of work their way back. Right now, some showers becoming more numerous in inland areas, almost forming along the sea breeze front. We have a general westerly wind flow helping to enhance the sea breeze and pushing it inland. Most of the heavy showers will be occurring in inland areas, and then we'll probably see a little bit of back building, causing some showers near the coast during around sunset time. Isolated morning showers near the coast, afternoon showers inland, better weekend rain chances. That'll be the name of the game. We can use the rain. Our fire danger index now at moderate in both Manatee and Sarasota counties, also in Charlotte County, so it's going up there. And the red tide, well, it's decreased a little bit according to Mote Marine spotters in terms of the irritants in the air at Nokomis Beach and Venice Beach, but Minnesota, it's gone up a little bit into the moderate range, and Gasparilla still intense. So it's still around, and it's still causing some problems in various locations. It kind of ebbs and flows and moves around. West wind coming in at about 10 knots in the forecast for the remainder of the afternoon. Look for about a 40% chance of showers now, decreasing as we head into the 3 o'clock hour. 90s for the next several days. Better rain chances on Sunday with a little bit of energy that'll move through North Florida and some increased moisture. And then as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, the rain chance decreases to about 30%. Back to you.
Thank you, John. In consumer news, have you been renting for a while? Maybe think it's time to finally buy a home? Real estate experts say there are 3 things you should do before you take the leap. Mary Maloney has some tips to buying a house.
Got it?
Yep, got it.
Before you even consider buying a home, make sure your financial house is in order. Real estate experts recommend make sure your job is stable, stick to a budget, and spend less than you earn.
If you're in that situation, you should be very motivated to buy a home because rents are going to keep going up.
Next, talk to a lender. They'll tell you whether you're able to take out a loan. Then, make sure you're comfortable making a mortgage payment.
For some people, it's not worth eating in every single day or driving a Civic instead of a Mercedes. They'd rather rent a house and be able to have some of those things. If you're going to be a homeowner, you reasonably need to expect that you may need to make some balances and some number crunching in your budget so that you can afford it.
And last but not least, save enough money for down payment. So if you're ready to get off the fence and into the housing market, go for it. Experts say it's a wise investment for your finances and your future.
Once you get this bug and you decide, I really want to own a home, I really want to buy an investment property, we start looking deeper into our finances and we start making cutbacks and things we don't need to help us strive towards the goal that's a worthy one.
I'm Mary Maloney.
As summer temperatures set in, your power bill is likely going up these days, but experts say there are some easy ways you can stay cool without spending more.
Ceiling fans are really one of the best ways to help you with your comfort in your home. You can run your thermostat a little bit higher, and if you're in a room where you've got ceiling fans, that will make it feel about 3 or 4 or 5 degrees lower.
You may also want to close your blinds in the daytime, keep the sun out and the heat out, and seal up any small leaks you may have around your doors and windows that could be letting in small amounts of hot air. A $71 billion deal between Disney and Fox gets the green light. The Justice Department approved Disney's purchase of most of 21st Century Fox's assets. The decision comes after Disney upped its offer for Fox's movie studio, sports networks, and cable channels. The company originally offered $52 billion for Fox last December. As part of the settlement, Disney will have to sell off 22 of Fox's regional sports networks. Fox's executive chairman, Rupert Murdoch, is expected to keep a few properties, including Fox News and the Fox Broadcasting Network, which will be spun off into a new company. Chipotle is closing more than 50 stores across the country. The premium fast food chain claims it's part of a strategy to focus on digital sales. Chipotle has struggled to recover since E. coli outbreaks in 2015 and 16 made several customers sick. But the company's stock has surged by more than 80% since their new CEO took over in February, who says they plan to launch a customer loyalty program next year and are even testing out new food offerings. There's no word yet on when those could be offered nationwide. Well, summer just started, but Kohl's is getting a head start on the holidays. The retail chain is now accepting applications for seasonal associates at more than 300 of its stores for back to school, fall, and the holiday season. Additional jobs at stores and fulfillment centers will be open later in the year. Executives say it's staking an early claim in a tight job market that's made it hard for companies to find workers in recent years. If you're looking for a new job, Amazon has quite the offer. Happening today, people can apply to start their own small business delivering Amazon Prime packages. This is Amazon's latest effort to get more control of delivering items to consumers. The company ships 5 billion packages every year. Drivers who need to have $10,000 to start their independent business will deliver packages in Amazon-branded vans and uniforms. They'll also be considered full-time Amazon employees with paid vacations and benefits. For more on this new offer, you can go to our website and look for this story. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how Boeing is hoping to get passengers from New York to London in just 2 hours.
Florida Studio Theater presents Always Patsy Cline, extended due to popular demand. A tuneful tribute, the story of Patsy's rise to stardom is told by her biggest fan. Featuring such hit songs as Walkin' After Midnight, I Fall to Pieces, Crazy, and many more you know and love. Critics are calling Always Patsy Cline a genuine hit. Audiences are calling it outstanding. Always Patsy Cline is now playing. Tickets can be purchased at 941-366-9000 or floridastudiotheater.org.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke is a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather, we're here for you. The ABC7 First Alert Weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert Weather app today.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
In entertainment news, new movies are in store for an Oscar winner and a pair of Oscar nominees. David Daniel has today's Hollywood Minute.
You think that you have this under control. I understand why I do things. It doesn't make me any different.
You're just embarrassed because I was like, I was like this amazing thing, like your special creation or something, and you don't like who I am now.
Timothée Chalamet earned an Oscar nod for last year's Call Me By Your Name. He could repeat the feat for Beautiful Boy, based on best-selling father and son memoirs. Chalamet plays a young man dealing with addiction. Steve Carell plays his father, trying to bring him back from the brink. The first trailer just dropped. Beautiful Boy opens in limited release in October. A Disney insurance company is suing Harvey Weinstein. The former movie producer worked for Disney when it owned his former company, Miramax. Weinstein, who's pleaded not guilty in New York to rape and first-degree criminal sex act charges, is seeking reimbursement for $1 million in bail through a Disney policy handled by Steadfast Insurance. Steadfast is suing to avoid paying that million and to recoup any legal fees it's already paid in connection with Weinstein's criminal case.
Blah, blah, blah.
Jared Leto played the Joker in Suicide Squad. Now he's looking at a different comic book character. Variety reports Leto is set to star in the Spider-Man spin-off Morbius, about a villain with vampire-like traits, including fangs and a thirst for blood. No word on a release date, but it sounds as if Morbius and the Joker would get along just fine. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The entertainment world is reacting after the death of the Jackson family patriarch, Joe Jackson. He initially managed the Jackson 5 after they signed with Motown in 1968. The group went on to become one of the most successful R&B groups in history. Michael Jackson's son, Prince Jackson, posting a photo on Instagram of him and his grandfather, saying Joe taught him to take pride in the Jackson name. Joe Jackson was 89 years old. Sony Music signing a deal with Prince's estate for exclusive distribution rights to 35 of his albums. Those rights kick in immediately for the music he recorded between 1995 and 2010. Starting in 2021, Sony can put out recordings dating back from 1978 through 1994, and his most recent albums from 2014 and 15 will be distributed in the future, although no time was given. Finally, want to make it to London in just 2 hours? Doesn't that sound great? Boeing wants to make a passenger plane that can shuttle customers around the globe at 5 times the speed of sound. The aircraft manufacturer says the jet could get anywhere in the world in 1 to 3 hours, with top speeds exceeding 3,800 miles an hour. The trek from New York to London, 2 hours. Currently, the trip takes about 7 hours. Boeing says the concept is still in the early stages of development, and it could take 20 to 30 years before it becomes a reality. That sounds so good, though, doesn't it?
It's going to come. It's going to happen.
Worldwide travel just would be so easy.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, you talk about long flights, and
Yeah.
it just sort of like takes the air out of your balloon when you think about going somewhere.
And plus the recovery time.
Yeah.
Too. Absolutely. I can see that. I can see that becoming quite popular.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ticket price about $25,000.
We don't have to know that yet. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great day. We'll see you again at 5 o'clock.
Get to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota for big savings during the Chrysler Pacifica Incredible Sales Event. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $23,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota today.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.